Mariah Carey's life is a remarkable story of talent shaped by struggle and strength built through pain. She is celebrated worldwide as one of the greatest vocalists in music history, yet behind her fame lies a deeply human journey filled with emotional battles, loneliness, and survival. From a childhood marked by instability and identity struggles to becoming a global superstar, her path reflects resilience at every step. Her voice became more than just music. It became an emotional escape for millions and a personal healing tool for herself. While the world saw glittering success, awards, and record-breaking achievements, her private life often carried emotional weight and silence. Through heartbreak, pressure, and reinvention, she transformed every struggle into art. Her story is not only about fame, but about rising again and again, even when life tried to break her completely. Childhood marked by instability and identity struggles, Mariah Carey's early life was shaped by emotional instability, financial difficulty, and a constant sense of not belonging. Born into a mixed-race family, she often felt caught between two worlds, never fully accepted in either. Her parents' marriage struggled under social pressure and eventually collapsed, leaving her father absent at a very young age. This loss created emotional uncertainty that stayed with her throughout childhood. Her mother worked multiple jobs to support the family, while Mariah grew up observing hardship, tension, and survival rather than comfort. Frequent relocations made stability rare, and she learned early that life could change suddenly without warning. These experiences shaped her sensitive personality and deep emotional awareness. Instead of enjoying a carefree childhood, she developed resilience far earlier than most children. Music slowly became her emotional anchor, offering her a sense of identity, safety, and expression in a world that often felt unsteady and unwelcoming. Music becomes her only safe escape in the middle of emotional chaos and instability. Music became Mariah Carey's only source of comfort and emotional survival. Her mother's piano played a central role in her childhood, becoming a space where she could express feelings she could not explain in words. From a very young age, she began experimenting with sounds, melodies, and vocal tones, discovering that singing helped her release emotional tension. Music was not just creativity for her. It was therapy and escape from loneliness. Every note she sang carried pieces of her inner world, shaped by struggle and longing. As she grew older, this connection deepened, and she began to see music as her true identity. It gave her purpose and direction at a time when life felt uncertain. Instead of breaking under emotional pressure, she turned pain into expression. This powerful bond with music laid the foundation for her future career as one of the most influential voices in the world. Struggle and survival in New York City. When Mariah Carey moved to New York City, she entered a world full of dreams, but also harsh realities. As a young girl with big ambitions but limited resources, she faced constant struggle to survive. She worked multiple low-paying jobs while trying to build a music career, often living in difficult conditions with barely enough money for basic needs. Rejection became a regular part of her journey, as many people failed to recognize her potential. Despite exhaustion and disappointment, she continued writing songs, attending auditions, and recording demos whenever possible. Life in the city tested her patience, strength, and emotional endurance. There were moments of deep loneliness, but she refused to give up on her dream. Every hardship she faced became fuel for her determination. These years were not glamorous, but they were essential in building her resilience and preparing her for the life-changing opportunity that would eventually arrive. Breakthrough success and sudden global fame, Mariah Carey's life changed completely when her demo tape reached the right people in the music industry. She was quickly signed to a record label, and her debut album introduced a voice that immediately stood out. Her song, "Vision of Love," became a global sensation, showcasing her extraordinary vocal ability and emotional depth. Success came rapidly, bringing fame, awards, and worldwide recognition. However, this sudden rise also came with intense pressure. She was expected to maintain perfection at all times while adapting to the fast pace of the music industry. Fame gave her financial stability and global admiration, but it also took away her privacy and personal freedom. While the world celebrated her as a rising star, she was still adjusting emotionally to her new reality. The speed of her success created a gap between her public image and private self, making her journey both exciting and overwhelming at the same time. Pressure of fame and emotional isolation. As her career grew, Mariah Carey experienced the hidden weight of fame and constant expectations. Long working hours, non-stop recording sessions, and global tours left her physically exhausted and emotionally drained. Although she was surrounded by people and admired by millions, she often felt deeply alone. The entertainment industry demanded perfection, leaving little space for rest or emotional balance. Over time, she began feeling trapped between her public identity as a superstar and her private emotional struggles. The applause of fans could not always fill the silence she felt inside. Even moments of success were accompanied by pressure to perform even better. This constant cycle slowly affected her emotional well-being. Behind the glamorous image, there was a woman struggling to maintain balance between achievement and inner peace. Fame gave her everything externally, but also created a quiet, emotional distance within her personal life. Breakdown, silence, and self-rediscovery. After years of intense pressure and non-stop work, Mariah Carey eventually reached a breaking point that forced her to step away from the spotlight. Emotional exhaustion and personal challenges made it impossible for her to continue at the same pace. This period of silence was difficult, as she temporarily lost the structure that had defined her entire life. However, this pause became a turning point for healing and self-reflection. Away from public attention, she began reconnecting with her identity beyond fame and success. She reflected on her journey, emotional pain, and the pressure she had carried for years. Although it seemed like a setback from the outside, internally it was a process of recovery and rebuilding. This silence allowed her to regain emotional strength and rediscover her passion for music in a healthier, more balanced way, preparing her for a powerful return. Powerful comeback and emotional rebirth. Mariah Carey made one of the most iconic comebacks in music history with renewed confidence and emotional clarity. Her album, The Emancipation of Mimi, marked a new chapter in her life, symbolizing rebirth and self-liberation. The music reflected her journey through pain, healing, and rediscovery. Audiences connected deeply with her honesty and emotional expression, making the album a massive success. This comeback was not just about fame, but about reclaiming her identity and artistic voice. She no longer performed under pressure for approval, but created music from a place of authenticity. Her return showed that setbacks do not define a person's future. Instead, they can become the foundation for stronger growth. This phase proved her resilience and ability to transform struggle into art. It was a moment of emotional freedom, where she stepped into her career with strength, maturity, and renewed purpose. Legacy of strength, resilience, and inspiration. Today, Mariah Carey stands as a symbol of strength, resilience, and artistic brilliance. Her legacy goes beyond awards, records, and commercial success. It is defined by her ability to overcome emotional pain and transform it into timeless music. Her journey shows that success is not a straight path, but a process of falling, rebuilding, and rising again. She continues to inspire millions with her voice, her story, and her emotional honesty. Even after decades in the industry, she remains a powerful figure in global music. Her life teaches that true greatness comes not from perfection, but from persistence through struggle. Mariah Carey's story is a reminder that behind every shining star lies a human journey filled with challenges, and it is the ability to rise after every fall that creates a lasting legacy.